In the history of the game, only 7 men have experienced the sensation of lifting the Webb Ellis Cup. While the cup itself can change hands every 4 years, for the individual players, there's a more permanent souvenir. Over the last few months, a British design company have secretly been working on the medals that will commemorate the greatest of all tournaments.
The bid process for the medals for the Rugby World Cup was really centred around initially understanding the context of the whole tournament and the history of England and the relationship with rugby, because that's really so important. And we're very lucky because the history and cultural background is massive in England. So the first thing that we began to understand was to put together how any designs that we would be developing made reference to those original contexts, if you like, because that's such an important thing. And we understand that when you're developing sophisticated products like this, the story behind it is really key. And if you don't get that right, or you don't understand it, then the designs, no matter how good they are, just won't fly. And then the brief, very much about a specification, of course, that we know, for example, that the medals had to be of a certain size and shape and scale. In terms of meeting specific requirements, then they are key. But then the creative bit is where we like to think we've come in with something really rather special, and it is about producing something unique for England. That's our starting point.
We were contracted to produce 3 different sets of medals. So we had the finalist medals, the participants medals, and also the helpers medals. So in reverse order, we'd the helpers gifts for everyone who'd been involved in helping actually put together what is kind of a huge kind of logistical kind of challenge, and help something to say thank you to them. And the participants for all the players, all the people who've been involved in actually the teams, and then the main event as such, in that the finalists, kind of a gold, silver and bronze version for the people who got to the final.
The medals are being crafted entirely in England, using a number of new production methods to create a precious memento.
When we went for the tender, we actually used the analogy of kind of a high precision watch, so a high brand watch, kind of Rolex, Breitling, any of those type. They are, the bodies of them are machined from a solid billet of material, and that's kind of where we kind of took that element. So, the medals are separately from a solid piece of material. These are machined on a high precision mill, and it's being able to hold these products because they're very small, and they're kind of machined within fractions of a millimetre. And what we're trying to do is keep the machining marks still within the medal, because these are almost like tiny little record grooves, which kind of is a beautiful detail that again comes back to the actual shows part of the process, and that you can only achieve that out of making it from solid billets. And putting these together, the way the detail of them coming together, and within the process of actually putting the graphic on, again, how that's done, we've got a number of kind of aerospace and Formula One kind of technologies involved in that. So as far away, this isn't the normal way to make a medal, and there's been a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of head scratching to get this to work, and because it technically is very, very difficult what we're doing, and is not the easy way to do it. But that's why these are going to be different, and they'll look different for that reason. And the more you look at it, although they look very simple and elegant, and the more you look at them, the more you understand. You kind of think of it, and how was that made, and that's what it's about.
When that match kicks off in October, we'll be there. It's just as much our final, if you like, as the guys out on the pitch, and so I think it's immense pride. I mean, not just because we were chosen and selected to do the design, but because we're doing this for our country. Effectively, there's a lot of emotional baggage tied up in this, and we will obviously be wishing to show the world what we've done and what we can achieve in these large global events. And it's a huge bonus for everyone to work on projects as prestigious as this. And it doesn't get better.